your most powerful ability in the game acquired, the run is going to get quite a bit more crazy very soon.
It's absolutely massive, Toadette. Grips just took a few deaths getting sent back to that safety stage.
I heard you guys like lore, right? Well, we have go fast left, we have go fast up with enemy, we have go fast down, and now we have go fast up without enemy. Charge jump. Hello and welcome to the Ori Randomizer 2022 tournament featuring number 1 seed Clean and number 4. No, wait, this is all skills. All skills. Round of 16, last match indeed between Cleanfel and Dedew. My name is Samsus and Muffin is joining me on commentary. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. We do have an all-star cast here, both behind the scenes and on your screen of randomizer aficionados. I mean, Dedew for his salt is an amazing speedrunner. We have seen him perform really, really well in the randomizer tournaments, and then here being the 3rd seed coming into qualifiers with their average, and then Clean is just won the previous randomizer tournament. Being a 14th seed here, he has improved his personal best by quite a significant amount as he's been fighting through this tournament, Zem.
Yeah, there is a bit of a gap between PBs here, between our runners right now. Did you being about 3.5 minutes? Well, it says 4 minutes here. The actual are more like 3.5, but there's a bit of a gap. So did you being favored here in this matchup between our two runners, especially since the route they are doing is actually the same. So execution gonna be very, very heavy here. But on the other hand, as you mentioned, right, Clean won the randomizer tournament, and this kind of practice carries over to a certain extent, and he has been consistently improving throughout the tournament and is hoping to push his time lower and lower here too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happened, but it's absolutely going to be Didew's race to lose, right? Not only in the consistency department is Dedew a terrifying opponent, but then also with just that faster PB. So if Didew's able to just close out like a sub 30, a sub 31, they will almost certainly be walking away and progressing towards those quarterfinals where we will move on to a best of 3 format. But for the format here today, as we look at the bracket, it is going to be a best of 1. So this is it. Winner takes all. The loser gets knocked out of the tournament, and the winner moves on to the quarterfinals to join Infinite in that best.
Yeah,
Matchup.
we have seen some upsets, mostly minor upsets here in the tournament, because this is a really hard category. And if you, for example, take a death at the end of Sorrow, boom, that's 40 seconds gone right there. And with that kind of death, that can very easily happen since energy is routed so tightly, these races can be incredibly close. But it looks like our runners are readying up to go. So let's see what today's race has in store for us as we start to skip prologue soon and go into our favorite area, Sunken Glades.
Yeah, I think one of the most interesting parts about the beginning of the run especially is that it's pretty smooth sailing for the runners. The only thing that can really end up happening to cause a really big divergence besides an unintentional death will be sort of just resource management, right? So the RNG drops, whether the health, the energy ends up dropping for either of our runners, losing a good amount of frames for each one. Hack things and move through. It really is just going to end up being pretty close all the way for the first few minutes of the game.
Yeah, it is just running and jumping, and most of the time we hope to at least kind of get the same early game here, get a bit of speed before the Rhino runs into the wall, so you don't have to accelerate, but otherwise It's just hold left and try to reach sign, then pick sign up. And with that, we get the ability to defend ourselves from 3 hurty, jumpy boys who are trying to ruin our day. And we do not want to wait at all on our way out of this first area.
Yeah, indeed. So here we go. Coming into the Frankie fight, nice shots from Cleanfel, going for those 5 hits on each of them, and Dedew matching that in kind. Just very, very nice execution for both of our runners getting out of that fight. We do have a bit of a desync going on. Don't worry. Clean is not actually ahead by those 5 seconds. That's just the differential of the timer when it was started for the restream right now. But here we go. Clean does get a nice stack there, gets the health drop, gets the EXP with the flower pad, and Dedew does not look like they end up getting a stack, just the Spirit Light as they're going through. And so, yep, Didew's going to have a small pause there because they ended up grabbing a health pickup from that slime that they ended up killing.
Yeah, and nice damage boosts here in preparation for the upcoming Ghost Star in the early game. Did you actually getting 1 extra health drop? Will want to kinda backflip over it, picks it up, so that means 2 HP now for him, if I saw it correctly. Gets another health drop.
Wow.
Slime's just throwing health after him. He is not allowed to have a nice poison dip. And as you can see, took a bit longer in the water, but now with the sync we can see he is actually ahead at that Ghost Door. For one, Clean kinda got stopped a bit on the bounce pad, but otherwise it's just those micro optimizations, getting onto a ledge a bit faster, getting a better vault around the ledge, and all that kind of stuff can really add up here in Glades. Now both of our runners opting to kill the Bramble before dropping down, so no instant drop shenanigans happening here. Makes also for a bit of a nicer way up later, but for now, it's just picking up this keystone that we're going to be using way later in Grotto and setting up EXP so we can have a nice level up in the wall jump area.
Yeah, Didew's EXP is set up perfectly. Missing the flower pad skip, that's okay. That just loses just a little bit of time. And Cleanfel is just also going to opt to... Ooh, no, their EXP was a little bit low, so they did not level up on the way down. So Clean is going to lose, like, what? It's like 2 frames from having to grab the 3 EXP on the way out in order to get that level up to destroy those scores. But here we've hit Wall Jump Tree. Wall Jump Tree is probably one of the nicer splits for either of our runners. Dedew with just a slight small lead here as they're jumping up for the energy cell, and they will be the first to progress over to the right side, high-fiving their friend Cleanfel as they are heading towards Blackroot.
Yeah, so now it is time for the second of 3 parts of Glades. As you can see, the Bramble's already gone on the Dew side. Clean having set his XP up so that they blast away. Now that means Clean will have a bit more EXP to boot. Maybe gonna need to adjust with a single extra slime, or rather a single less slime in Blackroot or something similar. But now to the elbow, damage boost on the bottom slime, then just jump over the other. Gets nicely out here. And with this, we just have to hold right and jump and not get stopped on any wall or plant, hopefully, on the way to Blackroot. On the left, there's one kinda nice mini optimization. Here, this jump gets it without a problem, now ducking under the slime. And that means it's safe anywhere time. We're entering Blackroot.
Yeah, so if you see the ability menu with just moving around in the background, normally you can't move with the ability menu up, but basically this is just all to skip a cutscene here. Very nicely done from Dedew. Saving the game by leveling up Quick Flame there, and then quitting out to menu and reloading allows us to save just over 20 seconds. So both of our runners are able to get through there without having to watch that cutscene. Cleanfel, though, opting to take Magnet. So Magnet is going to be a very nice skill to make the mid-game especially a little bit easier, but getting access to the right side of the map with Magnet is absolutely going to be a lot easier. Nice safety save there for Clean. That just means that they're not going to be able to drop a safety save on the way out as they are going to be leveling up. But Dedew, very nice movement there. Gets a bit of a slow orb drop, but no problem, was able to get the orb before the spider shot ended up connecting.
Yeah, and with that we get a level up. So one of the quote-unquote fun things here is how you need to set up your EXP correctly through that level up. So you can't even take really much of a look at your XP bar before it because you're gonna fill an entire other circle. But it looks like we are having nice EXP on both sides. The Dew gets to ride the platform down here a little bit longer. So yeah, we know every cycle in Blackroot Barrow is 8 seconds, so that's where we're sitting there. Meanwhile, Clean having to wait a bit on the lasers and then opting for the reload to resync the platform cycles. The resync obviously also costing about 4 seconds, so not the fastest cycles, but we're getting there. Also not leveling up here on the slime. That's good. That means his XP should be set up correctly for this next stage room. And let's see if we're getting any save anywheres for here. We have these kind of new strats. We have like 4 levels of difficulty here. Looks like we're getting more of a classic stack here. No save anywhere movement for the auto scroller part. So that means we're now about to stack a bunch of cutscenes together to get control of movement behind the dash speed. And with that, we can officially try to leave Blackroot and Glades.
Yeah, Dedew going for a slightly slower but much easier setup in order to be able to get this. This was originally discovered by Trinite, I believe, who is a phenomenal randomizer runner. And so, very nicely done, is going to be getting a cutscene stack here. So, on the left, let's see if Dedew gets it. They do, and so they are going to be grabbing dash and doing blind movement. 5 dashes to the left, and then doing a jump over that big sort of hole in the area. And we'll see where they are. Very nicely done, able to get out of that area. And it looks like Clean also getting the stack. Very well done. We will see how they do coming out of this blind movement. And beautiful getting up the wall, getting out and over of Blackroot and heading straight into Frankie Walk.
Yeah, it is Frankie Walk time. We currently have 2 maximum energy, but we would really like to open this door requiring 4. Luckily, a level up will refill those 2 right back for us. So what we're going to do is get our good friend Billy hopping over to the right and murder him at the top of this ledge to then level up while we put energy in. And the Duke gets it without magnet. Nicely done. That means he can jump into Death Gauntlet. I think I even saw a health drop there. So very comfortable, can now clear out the brambles and drop into Gumo's hideout. Meanwhile, Clean can kill the Frankie in a bit of a different spot, magneting up his XP, opting for the dash glide, which will cause the Frankie to jump down. Also gets a safety health. And with this, we have comfortably cleared this area and can now go for God Cycle on the left.
Okay, so on the left, this is a very precise set of movements. And Dedew gets through there. Very well done. That was a little spooky. They were almost on the tail end of the 1 frame, which would have caused them to take a death and had to like go back to their previous save point. But on the right, this is Clean's chance. If they are able to get this trick, they can really match their opponent. But no, does not quite get it. Maybe jumping out of that dash a little bit too early, maybe a little bit slow on the wall climb. Either way, Clean is going to lose about 8 seconds versus their opponent here, as Dedew is going to be doing some more blind movement after collecting double jump. And this is really where the run is going to start to pop off, Sam, with all of this very intricate and very precise double jump movement. And wow, look how high Dedew got up there, but takes 2 damage. So whoa, they are only on 2 health. So they do have to be a little bit careful here.
Yeah, opting, you have kind of 2 main options to spend that ability cell, either here for blind movement or later to get a nicer Gintoso entry. It looks like both of our runners opting for blind movement, so let's see how far Clean can get up these walls. As you mentioned on the left, beautiful grotto skip also. Having a bit of trouble with Baguette jump, but the Dew, being French, cannot let that sit on itself. Gives it a few try and finally is around that ledge. Alright, French citizenship confirmed here. Nicely done. No further up the walls. Now Clean also needs to set up for his grotto skip and maybe Baguette jump, depending on how he feels like. Did you make this look so easy? And so did Clean, honestly. There's a tiny bit of wall that you can jump on. And look at that Baguette
Wow.
jump on the right. Nice. That's at least some seconds made up for Clean as he gets that first try.
Yeah, very well done. I love our runner's commitment to just making that jump work. Like in reality, it only saves like fractions of a second, but of course, losing seconds to that means that being French while finishing your run is much more important for overall R. Let's just call it RNG manipulation. But I mean, so far, just man, Dedew nailing almost all of this movement, getting a little tripped up there, but gets a nice damage boost through the slime to be able to pop out on the other side by dashing into it at specific distances. But here we go. Dedew is going to be grabbing a level up here, avoids the spike. Very nice double jump there, and is going to be grabbing this extra ability cell Zem. So very nice route for them so far as they are progressing into the mid game. As Clean also making a very nice section as they hit Grotto TP.
Yeah, so all these grotto walls, you're probably sick of hearing it, but this is difficult. These walls have exactly those hitboxes as they look, and you can slip off everywhere. And both of our runners have been doing a phenomenal job of getting out of here. Also Clean, also getting a good avoidance on the slime, and can now proceed to grab his ability cell. Will need to take an extra hop, but hey, what is one hop compared to the entirety of Grotto now? As Clean kinda has a bit of struggle on Grotto, skip Light now gets the ability cell. It is time to enter Ginso for the Dew, and this is this gigantic vertical section across cycles and swinging platforms here. This Gimo room, very famous for having some troublesome cycles, but barely makes it before that Gimo and falls off. Alright, that's some seconds lost here that Clean can make up if he gets a nice Gimo room on his side. But otherwise, you placing a safety safe, I really like that safety safe in particular. You have so much open space, and getting some extra safety is always a good thing. Also gets a nice downward D boost, can now set up an intentional death if he wishes for the next room's shot cycles, which he does. And yeah, as Clean enters Ginso, Dedew is now in this puzzle room.
Yeah, Dedew at the enter Ginso, when they entered through, they were actually 3 seconds ahead of PB. Now probably slightly behind because of the fall in the second room where we see Cleanfel currently working through. But that being said, just incredible pace for both of our runners. I mean, Clean also just 20 seconds ahead of his personal best time. He is absolutely playing so incredibly well for where he's at. Ooh, takes a bit of a damage on the right, but is able to, nope, dropping the safety save. Does not want to take a death and go all the way back to the start of Ginso. I loved this play, Zem, right? Just really trying to solidify and say my fastest average time gives me the highest probability of being able to finish out a tournament run, right? So Clean didn't like his footing there on the wall, and if he had taken a fall into the spikes, he could have taken a death. So very nicely done from Clean as they're working through. But Dedew is going to be in the lead. They are going to be the first at the bash tree, but almost missing that keystone there, able to turn around and grab it. And so here we go. Dedew is finding Bash.
Yeah, Clean has now his mini bonus fight up, but Dedew indeed finding Bash, the most powerful skill in the game, and with that we're getting quite a bit faster now bashing through this area. Bash kinda just catapulting us in one direction from the projectiles, from lanterns, wherever we want to. And let's see, alright, we're getting the classic upper shot, double redirect here to get ourselves up the tree, and now setting up for key duplication by first murdering the spitter to put down a save, now collecting 3 keystones on the way up here, and then dying with the keys in the door while our save is far enough away. And that looked good. That gives the Dew 3 extra keys for use later in the run, maybe in Swamp or Sorrow, for example. And can now take his victory lap through this room, having a bit of problem with the lower keystone, but now is through and into the mini boss.
Yeah, very nice key dupe section from Dedew. I mean, the only trip up was like at the very end, collecting those 2 keystones there, but really nicely done. Like, it cannot be stressed enough how treacherous key dupe can be for our runners. Cleanfel on the right, also going for a bash shot, gets it, and so they are going to be able to head into key dupe as well. Let's see where they drop the save. They are going to be taking the lower save location here and going for a nice damage boost. Gets a little bodied by the hitboxes of the spores, but really nice improvisation from Clean to be able to keep up, but this is the scary part here. He's setting up a really precise angle and then holding right, and he is able to get the key duplication glitch perfectly. Very, very nicely done from Dedew as they are progressing through, but no, they take a death sim. I think they got a rekindle there, so they should still have the keystones, but we will see what they do from here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw that rekindle too. So that's you can take that extra second or so to rekindle your save and then not redo this entire section. Definitely loving going for that, especially in a tournament setting where you can't just reset. And just to reiterate on the pace Clean is on, he made another 2 seconds up in the bash split, so he's actually
Wow.
22 seconds ahead. I'm pretty sure he wants to finish out that run if possible at all. But yeah, now did you at hyper speed save here, taking dash speed through the door, gets very, very nice movement across these kind of swinging platforms here, now waiting for the shot. Up we go, and that means he has reached the rightmost tree of the map, Stomp, and can now take a turn around to the left and go all the way past spawn into Valley. And this kind of marks the part where the mid-game section really, really begins.
Indeed. So Dedew is now going to be progressing on. Nice stomp there. Going to be going for the planks, trying to land perfectly so that they can dash on the tops with as little air time as possible. Very nicely done and clean. On the right, though, is going to be doing their attempts at swamp entry as our runners are about to high five. So bringing the frog over. Nice bash there. It's right on the tip of the platform. 2 more bashes, very excellently done. And so Dedew is not going to be doing the double bash method. So taking an intentional damage boost there, they are going to be on 2 health. So here, bashing the shot up. Clean is going to be going for the entry. They go for the more difficult one, and they do get it. Very nicely done from Clean, just showing off how comfortable they are with that sequence break. And speaking of sequence breaks there, Dedew just ended up skipping a cutscene with a very nice bash displacement.
Yeah, that cutscene still is a myth, and you cannot convince me otherwise. I think we've maybe seen it once during the entire tournament. It hasn't been a lot. Oh, but misses the stall on the shot. All right. Yeah, that spike deals a lot of damage. 9,999 to be exact. But now going again for the double bash cycle. And can he catch it? Yes. Nice. Double bashes there. Skipping a cutscene on the ground because the cutscene cannot play if you never touch the ground. And yeah, that means the cutscene just doesn't exist. Instead, we reach chart flame tree.
Beautiful for both of our runners. I mean, Clean just nailing that swamp entry, being 15 seconds still ahead of his PB. Like, this is just so incredible, like, coming into mid-game with a split like this. But the end game can be extremely terrifying and very easy to take multiple deaths. And so Dedew on the left is going to be the first to enter Valley, being just around 10 seconds behind their PB. This is just such an incredible pace for both of our runners as they are going to be heading into the late game tab.
Yeah, now first let's look on the right as Kuro cutscene skip is coming up for Cleanfel, positioning just correctly, buffering a badge, minimum duration bash, and we are through for Clean. Alright, that means since he has said he's not gonna do any double bash shenanigans in this run, that means he's kinda in the green as long as he doesn't miss his Stomp stall. But on the left, Dedew wants an ability cell, which means we need to stomp a bird. We do just that. The wall breaks mysteriously, and now we have it. Now, very early charge dash level up here for Dedew, already grabbing that, and now needs to catch this shot and redirect it very specifically, racing a wall to unload it. Now baiting out this shot, racing a timer, because once we get the cell, we get a bonk. Very, very beautiful fast stompless there from Dedew.
Yeah, I am going to point out for people who are aware of like the optimal world record route, Dedew actually grabbed an additional ability cell right before he ended up entering Ginso Tree. So that being said, this I believe is just for a form of safety as they are going to be heading into the late game. It's going to allow them to be able to do an additional trick. So I don't believe we will see juggle from Dedew, but we will witness in a bit. So here we go. On the left, Dedew is going to be coming over and doing their attempts at Sorrow Bash. No safety save for Dedew. Nice double bash there on the bird. Nice angle there. The double bash, and he is able to get into Sorrow first try.
Yeah, very nicely done, but it sure isn't over. All these spikes are instant death, and we've seen them claim the lives of many Oris. Maybe a safety save here, but no, opting to just dash into the Ritus caves, immediately getting through this area, and there we are, save is down. Progress saved indeed. We can get our charge jump. Really beautiful Sorrow entry here. So as the Dew is now gonna take the save anywhere over to the next ceiling and break that with a bit of a glitch. Let's have our eyes on the right as Clean is setting up for his stopless.
All right, so there we go. Clean is coming over, going to be grabbing a spider shot here. Let's see how the angle is coming out. The shot looks a little high, so they adjust their mouse cursor, bringing it up. Oh man, maybe that shot angle was too shallow. We'll find out in a moment because it's impossible to be able to tell these things as casters. No, the shot was good. Very well done from Clean, grabbing a nice fast stompless quickly as Dedew was able to grab Terror Break, no problem. And they are going to be heading over in order to be able to skip this Sunstone cutscene and progress down towards Misty Woods.
Yeah, nice stompless here from Clean indeed, and that means he will be getting to Feather about 1 minute 50 behind the Dew here, and seeing how both are on runs extremely close to the RPBs, that is about to be expected. So fast meteor kicking down or stomping down on the left, as we also get the rocket jumps up for Clean. Safety save before double bash to get that energy. And now let's see what method of Sorrow Bash Clean is doing, since he does not want to double bash, opting for 2 birds here instead. Gonna charge it back, and that was textbook. Very nice Sorrow entry for Clean.
Absolutely beautiful. I just cannot look away from the left here. Dedew coming into Misty. The movement in this section is just such a pleasure to watch at a very high level of play. Nice C-dash stomp cancels there to be able to create some distance in order to get through, but the scary thing for Dedew is that he is currently only on 3 health. So all of these spikes, that's right, they end up dealing 3 damage and grabbing the safety energy. They are almost certainly going to be skipping this cutscene here. No, they're just grabbing it to be able to place a safety save as they are coming into the spike fall section. So here we go for Dedew, going to be heading back over to the left, dropping the save, which will heal them back up to 4 HP so they can go for this charge dash without worrying about taking a death. Beautiful execution from Dedew. And yeah, look at that, just the safety save, right? Giving them that extra 1 health back, stop them from taking a death and being sent all the way back up into Sorrow. So just very, very heads up play from Dedew, that they are aware that all they need to do is stay ahead in the tournament. And being this close to personal best, I'm sure Dedew, even though they're not watching their opponent, is going to feel very confident coming into this late game.
Yeah, as you mentioned, that's exactly where those safety saves shine, and it's also where this route shines. Going 4 HP instead of 3 HP here in Misty allows you to take hits like these. So Dedew now on 1 HP here, and we don't have a safety save for quite a few spikes before we can get to a good spot here. Still opting to charge dash, cancel through the spikes, even with that 1 HP. Nicely done. Now the safety save is down, does not save the energy, so still really doesn't want to take a death here. Stomping the slime into position, rocket jumping up, charge dashing around the corner, getting a bit stuck, but mostly gets through just fine. A safe strat on the Frankie, and let's see if we get to see a mini boss. First one explodes in the ground, and second one the moment he leaves the air. Nicely done. That means he can go to BRB, and well, we got some really nice movement from the Dew, but Clean has now also entered Misty, which means we get to watch even more of it.
Yeah, nice big explosive high five as both of our runners were charge dashing in opposite directions. Dedew on their way out of Misty as Cleanfel is entering it. So eyes on the right as Clean is moving through. Nice glide there to be able to return to neutral inputs in order to retain that speed through that section. And now bashing off the bird, nice dash to the left and stomping to be able to travel downwards just so ever so slightly very, very quickly. And now coming over, are they going to do the save? No, they are not. And so not dropping a safety save there, which does save just a little bit of time as a new cutscene skip was discovered for the tournament. But Dedew on the left taking an intentional death, going to be trying to set up their laser cycles for a fast entry as well as a fast exit.
Yeah, those laser cycles are kinda tight, but gets it very nicely on the entry here. Now placing down a cutscene, he knows all too well this cutscene takes 70 seconds, but has the ability to skip it, and that means he now gets his final 3 of the game. And yeah, the category is all skills. This is the last one, Light Burst, a small grenade that does basically nothing for our run by itself, but in combination with charge jump and climb, we're going to see that utilized a bit later. But now let's see the cycles on the exit. Goes for the fast one, beautifully done, gets all the good cycles, rocket jumps up, gets his refreshes on the walls, just needs to get his extra health from Blackroot here. That puts him at 5 HP, enough to survive the water in the final escape, and that's exactly where he is going as he teleports back to Swamp.
All right, Clean, meanwhile, on the right is going to be continuing to head through Misty. Nice movement, just had a little bit of a slip up with accidentally killing a frog they wanted to do a rocket jump off. But nicely done, bashing off of the lanterns, and now is going to be heading up. Do they break the energy crystal? They do, and they are going to wait for that energy. But oh no, one of the crystals just went a little bit too far to the right. So we will see how they are going to be able to improvise to get through. Nice rocket jump there. Maybe not getting quite the height they're looking for, but Dedew on the left, beautiful movement through Boru Fields. I am sad that I drew the attention away from that, but just beautiful movement from Dedew. And this is it, Zem, right? This is all Dedew has to be able to close out before they are going to be able to walk to the quarterfinals, right? Beautiful play so far, staying incredibly close to their personal best. And now, are they going to get Door Warp first try? No, not quite. So just losing a little bit of a time here as they retry the trick.
Yeah, this is the first moment you have control of Ori. You need to be pressing that up. And yeah, you notice that's a loading screen. Indeed, it is a load-dependent first frame press. And that is very known for being able to infinite people when door warp decides to not work. So sadly with this, did you pretty much locked out of a PB now, but gets through into the final escape. And I think that you wants to go for warm skip, and indeed that is the classic game storage menuing with a scroll wheel, and that means we do 2 rooms of the escape blind. You saw a glimpse of the first one here. Now there's more movement happening, and the floor breaks, nicely done, into the lantern room. Can now break this floor, blast away the other with a charge jump, bashing up of the elemental in the Aspen. Just needs to glide down and set up his fish cycles, because this water is poisonous, and you can hear Ori taking damage, but gets through. That means all that is left for him is to bash to the left once and set up for one more grenade jump here. Gets the angle immediately. Ori starts walking. GG Dedew.
Very beautiful. And I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this, but if like Dedew hadn't had that much trouble with door warp, they would have closed out a sub 29, which is an absolute amazing time for them in a tournament setting. So just very well played from Dedew, very well deserved, right? This is exactly what he needed. He didn't need a PB. He didn't need to like nail every single thing first try. He just needed to place smooth and steady, have a good early game, have a solid mid game, and just have a strong late game to be able to close out a win here and move on to the quarterfinals. GG, well played, Dedew.
Yes, he hops to victory. 29-13, still lower than his average qualifier time. That should tell you everything you need to know about his consistency in the tournament. But as much as I would like to go on about that, let's have a look on Clean's side, because with all this, he is still ahead of PB at Grenade Tree, which means as long as he can finish this out nicely, he can get a tournament PB right here in the quarterfinals. Let's see how Horu feels goes for him. Not opting to go for any Storm Cancel, as he mentioned before the match, which means the fastest way to get through here would be the grenade jump, and he's setting up for a beautiful glide. The load ruining the Patera jump, but that just means we get to see an extra grenade jump, and that means Clean has reached Horu and just needs to get a good door warp.
All right, so this is it. We're going to see how Clean is going to do here. If they get a first try door warp, this is going to be an incredible pace for them, right? 8.05 seconds ahead of their PB, and they get it first try, Zem. Let's go. All right, Clean coming into the final escape. This is it. Maybe taking a loss here in this match, but if they are able to close out the final escape of their dreams, they are going to be able to close out an epic PV right on the stage here on OriSpeedrunning for the 2022 All Skills Tournament. Let's go, Zem. Take it away.
Yeah, let's go. Kuro swooping down, no warp skip. That just means we get to see more beautiful movement as he charge dashes through the first two rooms, breaking the floor now into the lantern room. Bash 1, 2, 3, all upwards, easily getting the cycle, and now C-Flame blasting the wall out of the way. That means the one hard thing for him is to set up his fish cycles correctly, being on 5 HP, and that looked good to me. Out of the water he is, just needs to not spawn Kuro, which he doesn't, and get his grenade jump as the rocks try to ruin his day, but don't. So just don't soft lock on this one, Clean. Doesn't get the grenade jump. Come on, you still have it. Just get this C jump. I believe.
It's gonna be so close.
This is way too close. Yeah, I have not looked too closely, so let's just see as he holds right where this is going to end up. The time to beat is a 32-14, as Clean is probably just screaming at Naru to get up quicker at this point.
Yeah, I think he's just slightly behind his personal best here. But just what an incredible run so far. And so we're going to see his Naru. Yeah, it's about like 8 seconds out from here. So, well, that is okay. Like coming this close to his personal best in a tournament setting is absolutely excited. Like if I was Clean, I would just opt to just remove my current personal best from the leaderboard and put this one up instead, right? It's just slightly over 4 seconds, and having a casted PB would be a lot of fun.
Can see that. Yeah, indeed, as you mentioned, about 6 to 7 seconds here up behind PB. But just look at that on the stage with everyone watching. He just pulls out a time like that in the tournament race. I think he can be very, very happy about his performance here.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, Dedew closing out such an incredible time, and as well as taking a win here today. Just what an excellent performance from him. And then Clean finishing 4 seconds behind his personal best in a tournament setting is just so incredible. Like, I know I would almost certainly not be able to do this consistently. I mean, I know I did PB a few times in the qualifiers, but like having just Clean do this on a stage in a bracket setting is just so impressive, right? They not only did they do this, but like in the randomizer tournament we had recently, Clean did walk away as the grand champion of that. So just no question at all, Clean is absolutely a competitor and somebody who always puts on an incredible performance. So here we go. We actually are joined by both of our runners. Cleanfel, congratulations on finishing 4 seconds behind your personal best. And Dedew, moving on to the quarterfinals, taking the win here today. GG's, my friends.
Thank you. GG Dedew.
All right. That being said, the first question, I guess, goes over to you, Clean. So winning the randomizer tournament recently, coming in here, making it to the round of 16 in brackets, is this where you were happy to sort of have things go for the tournament, and like especially with a final run like that?
Totally. That was pretty much everything I wanted. Didn't sadly get the nice blue text on my live split.
Oh yeah.
But I'm very happy with this. This is everything I wanted here. So
I was joking with Zem. I was saying like I would just remove my current PV from the leaderboard and then put up this cast as it.
that would be pretty good. Maybe I can do. Maybe if I get a PB, I'll like, oh yeah, that one's not accurate anymore. I'll take it down and put this one up for a day or something. That'd be pretty good. Yeah, I think with honestly as little practice as I did for this tournament, because I definitely knew I could push and dedicate hours and hours. I felt like I was, I feel very happy with where I got with the time that I had.
Yeah, indeed, just absolutely incredible stuff. And I guess another question for you, Clean, while I have it in my mind, is you gave us some really nice notes leading into the cast, and just sort of off of that, when you're coming into these tournament settings, you mentioned that you wouldn't be doing certain tech like a lot of C-stomp cancels that really only save like minimal time, right? Like uncanceled charge dashes would really only save frames in like fractions of a second. So coming into a race setting like this, especially for all skills, it was your mindset to try and get an average time as low as possible, or to try and push for these personal best times, which we still saw you do here today.
I mean, yeah, as you can see, I'm not even, doing all these crazy tricks, and I'm consistently, I'm keeping pushing that sum of best lower and lower. So I know that the movement is there. And so even without doing these crazy tricks that I definitely will eventually incorporate into my runs, just having this nice route and movement throughout it's right now it's enough. So as soon as I hit, like maybe as soon as I hit that wall, and maybe when I get a 31, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I need to start doing these tricks. But for now, I really do just enjoy the movement that I'm putting on here today. It was just I had no issues really or
good stuff,
problems with this run whatsoever. So
heck yeah. Yeah, awesome. All right, Dedew, over to you. First of all, congratulations on taking the win here today. And then secondly, for your first question, coming into the run itself, were you aware at how close you were to your PB? Like, I know you weren't watching your opponent, but were you watching with your own splits, or just seeing the timer at certain benchmarks as you went through the run? And then how did that sort of affect your gameplay as you continued to push through the run?
Yo, GG Cleanfel. I was muted at the start. Rip.
Classic.
Yep. So yeah, I knew I was, I guess, a few seconds behind my PB, but like I didn't really care, to be honest, because it wasn't really a PB run. Like I didn't do like all my PB strats. I played it pretty safe. And I knew my PB was really good in the late game, so I wasn't expecting like a PB or anything. But like just getting, my goal for this race was getting a 29, so I definitely achieved that and almost got a 28. So that was really nice. Really nice. Just door up, I guess. So I guess for door up, I get it first try every time when it's not a race. But like every time it's a race, like it just doesn't work.
It's so brutal too, right? Like that first attempt is easier than the subsequent ones. I am absolutely like putting my foot down and like saying that, right? It's like if you miss door warp once, then you end up like missing it like 2 to 3 to 4 times.
Yeah, I never get it second try.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's why I usually time it. I mean, I always time it for the first try, and then I just use my scroll wheel because I just can't time it after that.
Yeah, word. So you mentioned that you were going for some additional safety in this race as well, right, Dedew? So like routing wise, as you're going to be heading into the next round, are you going to be switching up your strategies at all, maybe with a 3 HP start? Or are you going to still net for that 4th health cell safety that we saw you in Missy, right? Take those 3 damage hits in Missy, which would have caused deaths if you hadn't had that 4 HP.
Yeah, I'll definitely keep going with my current strats. So like Terror Break and 4 HP. And I feel like that's the best strategy for a tournament. Because I don't really... I know how to do like 3 HP and C juggle, like that wouldn't be an issue, but like I just don't feel confident enough to use those strats in a tournament setting.
Yeah.
Yeah. when I took damage, I just placed some extra safety saves and stuff that I would normally not use or like not place in like a PB attempt, I guess.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Good stuff. GG.
Yeah, honestly, great adaptation to both. It's no reset here in the tournament, right? So I see how going for HP, some extra safety saves to not take those multi-minute deaths can just be the play through the entire thing. But Clean, I actually have one more question for you here. Now that your tournament run has ended, you've been a Rando champion before, and you've been freshing up your all skills for this. Any more Ori coming up from your side, or maybe other speedrunning stuff you're looking towards?
Oh yeah, you guys said it. Three tournaments in 1 year. You know, that's quite something, isn't it? But the funny thing is, like, this isn't happening. But if like the next tournament was announced next week, I'm all in, because just this environment and this community is something I take to heart, and I love so much. Everyone here is so amazing. So I'm just, every time I'm really glad to just come in here, show my stuff, and put it all together and have a great show. So it's just awesome to be here, truly, and I'm very grateful. As for it's definitely a lot and on me, so I'm gonna make sure I don't go too hard on myself and I chill out, but I'll stick around and keep punching down that all skills time. A 30 is so possible here. I just gotta do some tricks, right? What's Grotto Cycle anyway? And then I mean, yeah, there's so much to look forward to, because Rando 4.0 could be coming out soon as well, and I want to get better at the Will-O-Wisp Rando. There's always more things to do here, so I'll keep my eye out. I guess for other games as well, there's like, I could do more Minecraft speedruns. I haven't done that in a while, and just enjoying myself, really. So thank you very much.
Yeah, glad to hear you're sticking around. Always fun to hang out with you and watch you run. So good to see you're sticking. Now, your next opponent is going to be Infinite in the quarterfinals here in the best of 3. Any thoughts you have on that matchup in particular?
Infinite is a scary opponent. His PB is like 40 seconds behind mine, less than 40 seconds. So like yeah, I guess anyone could win, even if it's the best of 3 now. So I'm really glad to be past the best of 1 stage, because that was really the part of the tournament that was scary, because it's so easy to take like a couple deaths in Misty, and just lose 2 or 3 minutes, and then you can, I guess, even against a runner that has a PB that is 3 minutes slower, you can lose in the best of 1. So yeah, I'm really glad to be past the best of 1 stage, and really excited to run against Infinite. Like, probably gonna be some really close races. I'm hoping for some really close races. We haven't had many in this tournament yet, like races that were less than 1 minute between the runners at the end.
Yeah, now that we're in quarterfinals, only 8 people left. I expect to have a lot more of those close ones, especially since we get to double the races per match, at least, maybe even 3. So, as excited as you are for that. Speaking of which, this was the last best of 1, as did you just mentioned. Indeed, round of 16 is over. That means starting from next week, it is time to do quarterfinal matches, and those are all going to be best of 3, and all of them are going to be played as a whole series. So no 3 single matches or something like that. We're gonna be pulling out 2.5-hour broadcasts for you here to make sure you get to see the entire thing in one go, with at least 2 matches, and the third if necessary, or if our runners have anything to show off, in case it goes 2-0. That could happen too. But for today's match, thank you so much, Muffin, for doing the cast with me. Thanks, Person, for being on the track, helping us keep track of our runners' PBs, as they have been being so close to it throughout the entire race. And thank you, Lion, for getting the restream sorted and making a cast even possible. Without our restreamers, we could not be doing that. And yeah, thanks to you and Clean for showing off your skills here, joining for the interview. I've been Sam, joined by Muffin, and I wish all of you a wonderful rest of your day.